All right, so good morning, everybody. We're going to play with a number of different things today, like we often do. But it would be helpful if you have a couple of yoga blocks, because we're going to use those a little bit later. And a blanket. I'm sitting on my blanket, and always a strap is just always nice to have in case something we're doing would be better served with your strap. So with that, go ahead and snuggle yourself into your yoga mat and pick a position, a seated position that makes the most sense for your body. So you know this, right? If cross-legged doesn't work for your legs, your knees, your hips, you can straighten the legs, you can put them up, however it makes sense for you. And then feel your whole body just start to lengthen up, right? So the tailbone goes down toward the floor, the chest rises, but not overly, because we don't want to overarch in the back. And the shoulders go to side body. Crown of the head gets nice and tall. And then maybe close the eyes. So it always takes, those first couple of moments to let go of the outside world as best we can and bring ourselves fully onto our yoga mats. So we start here just by centering and imagining this beautiful light going all the way up the spine, all the way through the crown of the head. And then exhaling it all the way back down to the earth. I always marvel when I think of the nervous system, the brain, and the spinal cord, and the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems that feed the body and allow us to ultimately do yoga or walk or eat or any of the other things we do in life. And so we start by breathing in this gorgeous light up through the spine. And then exhaling it back down and out through the body and into the earth. Taking a nice deep breath in. And exhaling it all the way back out. Inhale, take a deep breath. And on your exhale, if it's okay for you, drop your chin to your chest. And hold the chin down, like keep it down toward the chest, unless that's not appropriate for your neck, right? We take care of our bodies, we listen to our intuition. So if that doesn't make sense for you, then don't drop the head quite so much. And then take the left ear to the left shoulder. I do try to mirror as best I can, so I'm on the opposite side. Let the right fingertips come to the floor. Relax your jaw, right? Relax your face. And just imagine the weight of the head, no pulling, no tugging, just the weight of the head. And then slowly draw the chin down toward the shoulder as if you were looking down at your left side chest. And just feel the difference in the stretch here. And then slide it back so that it's ear to shoulder, and then maybe glance up a little bit. Be super mindful here. You can go just little teeny bits in each direction. Good, one more time, ear heads towards shoulder, and then look down at your chest. And then slide it back up, look up at the ceiling. And then release it completely and come to neutral. Your right hand comes back to your leg, roll out your shoulders, and go the other way. So right ear to right shoulder, relax your face, your jaw in particular. We tend to tense up through here. Don't hold your breath, right? Don't hold your breath. Just notice the sensation. Maybe along your whole left side neck, maybe into the shoulder, maybe down toward the arm a little bit. Good, the left fingertips come to the floor. That might deepen your stretch a little bit. And then very slowly look down toward the right side chest, look down toward that shoulder. And back through center, up toward the ceiling. And exhale it down toward the shoulder. And back up. And then release it, bring it back to center. Inhale, reach the arms up, grab a hold of your right wrist and take it over to the left. Good, center, grab your other wrist, take it over. And again, reach and stretch. Good, and reach and stretch. Let go of those arms. Woo, roll out your shoulders, everybody. We're almost done here. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Take the right arm up and over and stretch out through that side body. Hang on, we got a little blip with the camera. Hopefully you all can still see me. But mine went a little wonky, so let's see if you're still there. Good, I think you're still there. It's doing what it used to do. And take it back up. Exhale, other side. Stretch it out, everybody. And breathe. Good, inhale, take it up. Everybody cactus arms. Woo! And draw the elbows back, but keep the head, neck, chin neutral. And then as you exhale, bring the elbows together. Good, open them up. Exhale, squeeze them in, open up, everybody. Exhale, squeeze in, 2 more, take it out. And bring it center. Good, last one, open it up. And bring it center, hold those hands together, hold the elbows together. Just drop the elbows and see if you can keep everything touching. And then as you raise the elbows, see if you can keep those elbows touching. Woo, big stretch. And exhale down. Exhale it up. Exhale down. Exhale, reach up. Good. Interlace the fingers. Release the elbows. Press them out in front of you. Take the arms up. Warming up, stretching out the shoulders. And then just let the fingertips go. And take them down to the floor. Ooh, good job, everyone. And straighten those legs. Give them a nice, good shake. Flex the feet. Find Dandasana, which is staff pose. The shoulders draw on either side of your body. Remember, always honoring your process, right? Whatever's happening for you. If you can, with the hands pressing or the fingertips pressing into the floor, see if you can lift your right leg off the floor. All right, we've done this a zillion times, some of us, working with that quadricep strength, finding that pose, using your breath, and lower down. Go to the other side, lift your left leg. Feel this work with the quad, but keep the torso nice and tall. If you're having trouble, if you're feeling like you're leaning back too much, just take the fingertips behind. Exhale, lower down, shake it out. Grab your blanket or your towel, whatever you have, and make it so that it's kind of more narrow but wide, if that makes sense to you. So usually these are kind of out like that, right? And then we're just folding it up. Take that blanket and throw it over your right ankle. Sit up really tall. Fingertips are either, or hands or fingertips are to the floor, or maybe they're behind a little bit. I want you to lift your right leg. Right, so notice, silly little blanket, how much harder this is to lift with a little bit of weight at the far end of this leg. Woo, good, lower down. Take that blanket over your other leg, snug it in there. Open up your shoulders and take that leg up. Find your breath. Woo! That's it. You got this, everybody. And lower down. Switch sides again. We're doing 2 on both sides. Sam, being nice. We could do 5 on each side, but we're not. Roll the shoulders back. Try to stay lifted. And it's okay to lean back, but don't sink in. All right, lift the leg, hold. Let's see if we can pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower down. Go to the other side. Snug that blanket around or towel around your ankle. Lean back a little, squeeze through your belly, lift out, and pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower down. Nice job, everybody. Just set the blanket aside for now. Bend both knees, lean back, keep the chest tall, just windshield wiper the legs a little bit, give them a little bit of break, a little bit of love. That's it. All right, so release that and come to table pose. And grab your handy dandy blanket or towel. You're gonna take that blanket around the back of your right ankle and calf and just kind of snug that baby in a little bit, okay? And then come to table pose and do a few cats and cows here. Just soften up through your spine. Again, notice as you inhale, as you exhale, maybe you spin the ribs around a little bit. Maybe you go the other way. Right, every morning, you know, and I can't say even I do it every morning, but every morning we should just give our bodies a little bit of love, move around, stretch it out, shake it out, in whatever form that takes for you. All right, so back to table pose, belly is toned in, right? We know this so that the back is neutral. With that blanket around your right leg, you're gonna press the leg out, tone the belly in, level out the hips, and lift the leg. If this is too much for you, if the blanket falls, by the way, don't worry about it. But if it's just too much, take the blanket off. Find your stability, let the left hand come out. So balancing table like we often do, but adding some weight to the back leg. And notice, right, the glutes gotta work, the hamstrings gotta work. We gotta work, right? We gotta make this happen. Hold, 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 everybody. Breathe, and then let the hand go, but hold the leg. And let's see if we can pulse it just for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good, lower the leg, lower the knee, and slide that blanket over to the other side. Snug it around there. Shake out the wrists if they're chatty. Squeeze in through your belly. Step the left leg back. Lift the leg. Ooh, yeah. And breathe. Tone in, tone in, tone in. If and when you're ready, the right arm goes out. Finding that pose. Squeeze through the left glute. Squeeze through the left leg. Make sure the belly's staying toned. You don't have to lift the leg really high, by the way. If you just lifted a couple of inches, that's plenty. Good, release the hand, keep the leg. And let's pulse for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower the toes, lower the knee, and take that blanket off your ankles. It's the simple things, right? It is really, truly the simple things. Flip your toes under, come to downward facing dog. Once you're in down dog, pedal it out, shake it out. And then bring your feet together. So your toes are touching. You're holding that down dog. And then listen up. I want you to step left with your left foot, step right with your right foot. Step in with your right foot, step in with your left. Step out with your left, step out with your right. Step back in with your right, step back in with your left. Good, switch, step out with your right. Step out to the edge with your left. Step in with your left. Step in with your right. Good, one more, step out right, left, left, in, right, in. Hold those feet together. Make sure you've got good integrity with the shoulders. I know we're holding this for a while. Squeeze in through the belly, bend both knees. Maybe the knees tap to the floor, and then lift them right back up again. Even if you bend a little bit, bend and tap, lift and press back. One more. Bend and tap, lift, press back, lift your right leg off the floor. Squeeze in through your belly. Engage those upper backs, right? Good, lower that leg down so you're back to feet together. Switch sides, left leg lifts. A lot of upper body work here. Find it, reach, and lower it down. Woo! Lower both knees to the floor. And shake out those hands. Wowie, wowie, right? Circle the wrists and breathe. All right, back to table pose. No blanket this time. Press your right leg back. By the way, if your wrists and or hands are screaming, just go to soft fist, okay? Lift the leg. We're not doing balancing table here, so both hands are staying on the floor. Squeeze in through your belly. Find that glute engagement. Turn the toes out, and then just turn them back down. Turn them out, down, out, down, out, down. Last one, turn them out, hold. Kickstand your left foot out to the left. Rearrange your left hand so it's out from the shoulder and see if you can open up side body. Again, engage, 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 right? Belly is toned. Find your breath. Maybe the top arm lifts up. You got it. Exhale everything down. Lower the hand. Turn the toes back down and release it down. Shake it out, everybody. Good. And always take the time to give those hands and wrists a little bit of love if you need to. I just shake them out. Maybe I'll squeeze the wrists. Come on back. Left leg out. Tone the belly in. Lift the leg. Find that. Just breathe. And then turn the toes out and turn them back down. Go ahead, turn them out and down. Working with some hip work here. Turn them out and down. 4. Last one, turn them out, hold. Kickstand your right foot out. My right hand always has to move a little forward and a little in so that I have balance. And then let go of the left hand, the top hand. Take it up. Press strongly through the leg. Engage the glute, everybody. Big deep breath. And then release that hand. Release the leg, turn the toes down and let go. Shake it out. Good, shake out those wrists. We're getting there, we're warming up. Warming up, good. Plant the hands, downward facing dog, press back. Good, take the feet wide on your yoga mat. Engage the upper shoulders, the upper latissimus muscles. Tippy toes, bend the knees any amount, tap if you can, and then press back. This is 2. And 3. Woo! Yeah, squeeze your belly. And 4. Last one. And 5, let those knees go. Bring them back into center. And just find a resting pose for you. Again, I know some of you that can't bend the knees like this, so maybe you come back to being seated. Maybe you lay on your belly for a moment, and then just shake everything out. We got one more here before we get up and jam it. Good, shake it out. All right, so come. Grab one of your blocks. If you don't have a block, don't worry about it. If you have a stack of towels or you just have your blanket, you could probably do the blanket as an option, okay? You're gonna put it just in the middle of your mat, but further, closer toward the top end. And again, those of you who've been doing this with me a while, we've done this. All right, so you got that block up on high. Let me move this one out of the way so it doesn't look weird. And you're gonna just do a few little push-ups, elbows in though, right? Chaturanga variation. You're on your knees, your legs, lower legs can be straight or they can be bent. So let's tap that block for 5. 1, 2, 3, try not to dunk your head, 4, and 5. Really easy, pretty easy. All right, take that block down 1 layer. 1 layer, hang in there. If the higher block was a challenge, stay high. If not, go 1 down. Here we go, we're doing 5 of these taps. Draw the elbows in, engage the shoulders. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Press back. Maybe your forehead rests on the block as you stretch out your arms. Good, last one here, lower that block to the lowest level, okay? Again, if you want to stay at second level, stay at second level. Perfectly okay, understandable. I'd like to stay at second level, but I'm not going to do it. Draw the elbows in, broad in through your shoulders. Tone that belly. Here we go, 4, 5. 1, woo, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Push up, stretch back. Maybe that block rests, your forehead rests on your block. Stretch it out, everybody. Woo. Maybe shake those hips a little bit. Stretch through the armpits, the arms. Release that. Set your block aside for now. From table pose, take your right leg forward and your left leg back. You're on your knee. Open up the shoulders. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus arms. Release, release those hands down, lift them up. Take it to cactus and then stretch them down, reach them up one more time. Bring it to cactus, slide them back, hands come to heart. Twist everything to your right. Don't lean down, just twist and breathe. Come back to center, hands come to the floor or to your blocks. If you're using your blocks, they're at low level or second level only. And lift your left knee off the floor. Engage, everybody. Right? If you were with me last class, remember how we played with the block between the thighs? So squeeze the imaginary block between your thighs. Open up your shoulders. 1, you're here, working on stability. 2, hands to knee. 3, the chest lifts. Woo. 4, the arms come up, palms face forward. Exhale, cactus arms. Release, scoop it all back up. Exhale, cactus arms. Release, 1 more, scoop up. Exhale. And take your hands to your blocks. Lower your left knee. Switch sides. Your right leg goes back, your left leg goes forward. Just find your breath. Nice little low lunge, no big deal. Good. And then take your hands to your knee. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus arms, scoop them down, reach up. Exhale, big open chest, scoop down. Last one, big open, release, scoop them up. Exhale your hands to the block. Options, right? I should have said this on the other side, but you can leave that knee down, it's okay. Otherwise, lift the knee up and see if we can work with strengthening the legs. Remember that the legs have to be wide enough so that you feel sturdy. So 1, you're here. 2, your hands go to your knee. 3, the chest lifts up. 4, the arms go up. Cactus arms. Release and scoop. Exhale. Don't worry about the arms. If you're going, how's she doing that? Or what is she doing? Don't worry. Just bring them down and bring them back up again. Cactus arms. Scoop, hold. Exhale your hands to the blocks. Good. Listen up. Set your blocks aside. Carefully step up. So both feet are forward. Their hips width apart. Take your hands to your knees and come on up to standing. Shake it out, everybody. Woo. That's a good warm-up. Good warm-up. All right, feet wide. We're almost there. Bend into your squat. I know at least 2 of you in class today have knee stuff, so you can just barely bend, you can not bend, or you can squat into your level, okay? Take care of these babies best you can. Hands come to heart. Just find your breath. Good. When you bring those arms up, we're going out and up. Release the legs and stand straight. Inhale. Exhale, slow squat, hands go down. Release, inhale up. Exhale, slow. Release, take it up. Exhale, hold right here. Tone the belly in, everybody. Open the arms to cactus. Find your breath. Good. Open the elbows. Exhale, elbows in. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze in. Open it up. Exhale, squeeze. Good. Almost there. Open. Squeeze. Last one. Open. Squeeze. And then stand it all up. Exhale those hands down. And heel toe the feet back to the center. Shake it out. Good. One more here. I keep saying one more here, but really there's a whole bunch coming. So if you're near a wall and you want to hold on to that wall, we're going to do some calf raises. We've been playing with those lately. So feel free to have a finger somewhere where you can maintain your balance. But otherwise, the feet are parallel to each other. The inner ankles and the inner line of those thighs draw toward each other. Okay, your hands can be on your hips. They can be out. Find your still spot in front of you where you can focus, because this is balance work. All right, let's see if we can do 10 heel lifts right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, good, 10. Turn the toes out, leave the heels where they were. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn the toes forward, but then turn the heels out. So you're a little bit knock-kneed here. Again, if something is hurting here, just don't do it or keep the feet straight. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn everything forward again. Here's the balance part. See if you can lift and hold. And breathe. That's it. Belly tones, everybody. Lower down, shake it out. Good. And then we're simply gonna take the feet a little wider than normal, okay? We're gonna take our hands to our knees And we're going to do a standing cat and cow. So as you exhale, everything curls in. The knees stay soft and bent the whole time. And then as you inhale, tailbone up, head up, shoulders draw back, right? And exhale, curl it in. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, curl it in. Good, just two more here. Inhale it up. Exhale. And lift. Exhale, curl. Release to a neutral spine. The knees are soft. Lengthen the tailbone. In fact, take one hand to your sacrum. If you can do palm down, do palm down. If that hurts your wrist, just do palm up, whichever way you want. And then feel the heel of your hand lengthen the sacrum, okay? Just feel that. Take the other hand, squeeze the belly, because we're working core here. Take that to your chest. And feel one hand move one way, and the other hand move the other way. Start to straighten the legs. Keep the hands, keep the hands, keep the hands, and then see if you can lift the chest toward the ceiling. And breathe. Release both hands to the back of your head. Squeeze the glutes a little bit. Pull your head up and away from your neck. And imagine somebody has a string tied to the center of your chest. And that's what's moving up toward the ceiling. It's not your lower back. Bend the knees if you're feeling low back stuff. Breathe and just release. Woo. And shake it out, okay? So this interesting thing about back bending, right? I always find that interesting. A lot of us have this low back stuff going on. And so how do we keep the low back healthy and practice some of the back bends that we can do? So let's come back to the front of your mat. Your blocks are nearby. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Find your pose. Take it to plank. Now, plank pose. Some of you are going to be down on your knees. That's perfectly okay. Here's where I want to play. In fact, come on down. Come on all the way down to your belly. Let's start. Basic, basic, basic. Because here's where we're going. You may notice that I never teach. Just so you're in Sphinx pose, so I can talk to you. So Sphinx pose, elbows to shoulders to elbows, elbows to hands. You're not wider than your shoulders. You're reaching up. Think about what we did. One hand to sacrum, right? You draw the sacrum. Just think of it in your head. The sacrum draws down toward your feet. The belly tones in, the chest lifts, as if somebody had a string to the center of your sternum and is pulling it forward and then up. So Sphinx pose. So as we play with this back bend, I want you to notice how it feels in your body. If it's a lot, walk the elbows forward. What I often don't teach anymore, especially without seeing you, is upward facing dog. I don't do upward facing dog a whole lot because it's easy to go too deep for me and my body. But we're going to play with up dog today, right? And we're going to have fun doing it. That's what I say. Good. Everybody lower down. Whew. Just bend the knees and shake it out. And if you can, you're going to stick with me through this. And if your body is telling you otherwise, you do what you should be doing for your body. Now, you can use, if you don't have the blocks, you can use a blanket. Okay, but otherwise, I want you to press up and grab your blocks and place them on the lowest level side by side. We're going to be doing a lot with the blocks today. If you don't have blocks and you're using a blanket, you're gonna have that blanket along the short width of your mat. And then you're gonna lay on your blocks. And you lay on the blocks so that you're right about the crease of your hips to legs, right about there. So the thighs are below the block. You feel your pubic bone on the block. And you're back on your elbows, like Sphinx pose. And all I want you to do from here is let the belly hang, and then hold the belly in and feel how you lengthen the lower back and you move to the bottom edge of the pubic bone. So release, it's almost like doing a little cat-cow on the blocks. And then squeeze in. Good, lower down. Now those with a lot of low back stuff, this might be your Sphinx pose here, right? Here on your blocks or on a blanket. Good, one more time. I just want you to tuck in that belly and feel the length, and then maybe take your elbows off the floor. This is a modified Cobra pose, very modified. And then lower it down. Whew. And then lower down over the block so you've rounded your back with your behind up in the air. Good, just breathe. Good, so from here, I want you to take your hands on the floor. Your forehead is on the floor, your hands are on the floor. They're shoulder width apart, and they're right about in line with your shoulders. Draw the elbows to the side body. Press into your blocks and press into your hands and lift. So Cobra pose, right? Piece of cake on the blocks. I love the blocks here because they're training wheels. And you can adjust your pelvis on these blocks. Like I just scooted up a little bit because I felt like I was a little bit too low and I couldn't feel the bottom edge of that pubic bone. So draw the shoulders, the elbows are soft. Listen up, we're going back to the floor to the count of 5. So keep the elbows tucked towards side, let them go back toward the hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back to the floor. And then press off your blocks and come back to either child's pose or laying on your side or laying on your flat belly, okay? Without the blocks there. And just stretch it out. Excuse me. Good, and then come up. All right, so low back warm up, right? Lower back, back bend warm up. I want you to take both of your blocks and set them up on the highest level. I have a little bit of space between my blocks. You can see that, like maybe a hand's width space between them. The hardest part of this is just going to be to figure out where on your mat you're going to need them. Now for my one gal out there who doesn't have blocks, I would still go with the blanket, but I would make that blanket kind of as high as you can, or towels as high up as you can, or maybe even some pillows off the couch kind of thing, so that you get a little bit of height if you can. So I've got my blocks about center of my mat. My knees are a good foot, 1.5 feet behind the blocks. And then I'm going to reach over my blocks so that I'm back in the table pose. Okay, the blocks are probably about centered. And once you do this the first time, you'll figure out where you should be with regard to your blocks. And maybe you watch this first one just so you see what we're doing and you're not trying to figure it out by voice. So from table pose to downward facing dog, to plank, to land on your blocks, okay? So my feet are high, those blocks are hitting right at the crease of my legs to hips, the hip crease. From here, you can just let go of the toes and you're in this pretty high up, upward facing dog, okay? From there, you drop your knees and come on out. All right, so if you were watching, let's all do that together. You just, because these blocks are up high, they're wobbly, so you want to land pretty reasonably. All right, table pose, downward facing dog, my face almost makes it to the blocks. Plank pose, lower the hips, keep the integrity of the arms until those hips land solid on your blocks, and then release your toes. Right? So feel this, right? And even for my low back folks, this should feel pretty good, pretty sturdy. If it doesn't, then drop the knees immediately, okay? All right, so everybody drop the knees and release. And just check out how that felt. So we're gonna take those blocks and we're gonna lower them by one. This time they are side by side, they're touching. And we're gonna do the same thing for upward facing dog. The blocks are a little bit lower. I love blocks, you all know I love blocks. These are like the best training wheels in the world for playing with form without compromising sensitive areas in my brain anyway. So my knees have not moved. I'm stepping those hands over, right? Shake out the wrists if you need to, kind of claw in the fingers a little, that can often help. So from table to down dog, to plank, lower the hips to the blocks, find it, right? Adjust as you need to, press into your hands, open up the shoulders, release the toes, upward facing dog. Just breathe. Lower the knees to the floor. Release the pose. If you want to counter pose, you just go slide back to child's pose, or lay on your side and draw the knees up if you can. How's this working for you, right? Kind of fun, kind of cool, hopefully. All right, so we have one more, just like we were doing for those push-ups, right? High block, middle block, low block. We're going one more optionally. Trust yourself. If that second level was right on your edge, stay a little bit higher for now as we play, okay? All right, last one here. Hands are forward. Block is there, belly tones, downward facing dog. To plank pose. If you can, squeeze the elbows in, lower toward chaturanga, land on your blocks, and lift up. How's that feel? Tops of the feet are on the floor, the legs are active, but you're not over squeezing. Obviously glutes are active, right? Because you can't do this pose without the glutes being active. You are stretching the front of the hips, so you have to engage the backs of the hips. It just, I think it's just, you know, makes sense. So feel that. Good, I want you to bend the arms, lower down, and let your hands go completely. Let your knees come to the floor. And breathe. So dropping the knees and draping these hips over the blocks is just hopefully releasing the low back in particular, but the back muscles in general when you do this. All right, so here we are, right? We've got our hips dropped and our belly dropped and all that. So I want you to come out on purpose, which means I'm going to squeeze my belly in, lengthen my back, come up to my elbows, and then from the elbows, press up into the hands. And decide with these blocks, do you want to stay with blocks? Do you want to go higher? Do you want to take the blocks out and just see what happens? Now, I don't do a lot of up dog. Me personally, I don't do a lot of up dog without blocks because I compromise at some level. So if we're gonna do it, we're gonna take it slow. And we're gonna love ourselves, okay? So, table pose. Fingers spread out, belly toned in. Flip your toes under, find downward facing dog. The general way that we would do it would be plank, chaturanga, up dog. I'm gonna invite you to try something a little bit different. Engage the inner thighs as if you were squeezing a block. Float to plank. Don't do chaturanga. Drop the hips, lift the chest. Good, squeeze the belly in, back to down dog. We're gonna do one more, just like that. So you're gonna float to plank, and instead of chaturanga, the arms stay straight. And then squeeze up and release. Good, lower your knees. Shake out your hands. You know, this is a heavy wrist day, so give them some love. We'll shake them out when we're done. All right, so lots and lots of options as we play. And I would love some feedback from all of you on how this is feeling, especially in that low back area. All right, last one, we're only doing one. This is the full caboodle, right? We're doing down dog, to plank, chaturanga, be mindful there, to up dog, or any variation that you want. Blocks, no blocks, chaturanga on your knees to sphinx or cobra. Play with your back bends because I don't want you to be afraid of back bends. I want you to find a way that you can do back bends that works for your particular body so that it feels good, okay? All right, last one, my loves. Here we go. Table, down dog. Find your breath. Plank pose. Remember, here's an option, knees up or knees down. Squeeze the beach ball. Slowly lower down. Take the torso up in up dog. The thighs are off the floor. You're on your feet and your hands. Breathe. Lower the knees. Lower the torso. And come on out. Whew. Once you're on your belly, just shake those legs out, everybody. Find your breath. Release the legs, turn onto your side, and press up to any seat that you want. Before we get back to the floor, I want to play with our wrists. So even for me, right, if I'm on my hands that much, doing that much body weight work, I can feel it. I got little baby wrists, so I can feel those. So take both hands in soft fists and just circle. I know. Circle the other way. Interlace the hands and do circles with your wrists. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Ooh, yeah. Good. If you can figure it out, I never can. Circle the other way. There we go. Find your breath, everybody. Shake them out. Good. Take your left arm out, drop the fingers toward the floor, take your other hand and press that hand toward your armpit. So all of these poses, right, we're flat-handed with the wrist crease, so we want to stretch out that wrist. Good, release, go to the other side, fingers down, just gentle press toward your armpit. And release, grab one of your blocks, place it in front of you. Again, you can sit any way that makes sense for you. Rest your forearm on your block. Turn your palm up. Small curl of a fist and release it down. Good, your wrist should be free of your block so you can drop the hand. Curl it in and down, 3, 4, yep, last one, 5, squeeze it in, release, turn the palm down, drop it down. Drop your hand down so your fingers are almost on the floor or close. And I've got my block on second level. You can place it, as long as your forearm is supported, it can be flat or it can be second level. And lift the hand and then drop it. Lift and drop. It's like you want to say hi, but you just barely got the energy. Lift and drop it, good. And then just really shake it out like it's a wet noodle. Switch sides. Rest your forearm on your block, the wrist is free. Small fist, curl it in, right? Already that should be feeling better if it was feeling tender. And release, 4 more. Squeeze it in. I always pause at the top and release. Squeeze it up. And this is 4. Last one, squeeze and release. Turn it over. Drop the fingers toward the floor. And then lift up. And 2. There's 3, 4, and 5. Good. And then just shake it out. Shake it like a wet noodle. Woo. Good. Set your block aside. Just grab your wrist, wrap your fingers around your wrist, and give it a good squeeze into the middle. And then squeeze and straighten your fingers. Yep. Shake that out. Go to the other side. Give a good squeeze to your wrist. And then squeeze fist open a few times. And shake them both out, good, and release it. Have a block near you, and let's come on down to the floor. Your knees are bent, your feet are on the floor. Oh, and just get a sense of how that feels, right? So notice your back in particular, because what did we do? We just did a ton of back bends. So notice how that feels in your body. Make sure the back of the neck is nice and long and that your torso feels pretty neutral. And then grab one block and place it underneath your sacrum. So this is a modified bridge pose, right? We're using the block so that we can have a little bit more of a restorative experience here, but we're going to do some work from here. Make sure that block is to below your lower back. It should not be in the low back at all. Your back should be free here. And then draw your right knee to your chest. Take it up to the ceiling. Slowly lower it down all the way to the floor. Pause here, get a sense of how that feels in your body, and then bring your left knee toward your chest. You can hold it if you want, but you don't really need to. That knee's going to stay right where it belongs. And then relax both feet. So mild psoas stretch, right? This was everything we were stretching in upward facing dog. Find your breath. Good. And then tone your belly. Your hands go to the floor. You can even hold on to the sides of your yoga mat, shoulders down. I want you to see if you can lift your right foot off the floor just a few inches. So we're doing a little bit of engaged deep belly work here. Find your breath. Yep, both feet are flexed now. So we went from really chilled out to really working. Feel it. If you raise that leg a little bit more, just notice what you're feeling, and it should all be pretty much all in the abdomen. And then lower that leg all the way to the floor. Relax both feet. Take your left foot, put it back on the floor, knee is bent. Raise your right leg all the way up to the sky. Bend the knee to chest, squeeze it in, and let that foot come to the floor. Good. Left knee goes to chest. Take it up to the ceiling. Slowly lower it all the way to the floor. All the way, all the way, all the way. Pause and get a sense of how this feels. Sometimes when we're using the block under the sacrum, if you feel a little tweakiness in the lower back, sometimes it's as simple as shifting the sacrum. So either shift it into a little more of an arch
or shift it into a little less, like a pelvic tuck. And that can take all that little twinginess out of there. So relax your left leg, draw your right knee to your chest, let that relax, simple little stretch of the psoas muscle, maybe the upper quad on the left side. Right, we know, at least some of us, because I talk about it all the time, that psoas muscle goes from the inner upper thigh all the way up to the 12th rib, all the way up to the 12th, T12, okay, the thoracic vertebra. So, and it connects in, it fingers in to the diaphragm. So when we take a deep breath and then we exhale, we press on the psoas a little bit so we get a little more stretch. All right, so here we go. We're gonna tone in, tone the belly, maybe hold the sides of your yoga mat and see if you can lift your left leg off the floor a little bit. Squeeze in, tone in. Maybe the leg goes just a little higher. Woo, feel the core work here and feel the psoas work, holding that leg up, right? That's what's working, and we stretch the heck out of it, so we're toning it all back in. Breathe, and slowly lower that leg to the floor. Oh, relax your feet. Good, bend the knee, ooh, bring it into chest. Both feet to the floor, both feet to the floor. Your palms face down on your mat, and instead of pulling the hands down, I want you to slightly shrug your shoulders just a little bit so that the upper shoulder muscles, those trapezius muscles, are soft. Press into the hands, press into the back of the arms, and just lift the chest. You're not lifting the hips, just lift the chest, right? So bridge pose, yes. Bridge pose, like, woo, right? That chest lifts, the back bend comes from here, not the lower back. And then relax it down. Good, one more time. Press into the hands, press into the forearms, press into the back of the hands. Notice how the chest bows up toward the ceiling. Only if you want from here, lift the hips off your block and breathe. You can take that block out from under you. You don't have to take the hips off, by the way. You can walk the hands in a little bit, interlace the hands under you, right? A big old bridge pose with the chest reaching up. Release the hands fully. Open up your shoulders wide and then lower the sacrum or lower the back all the way to the floor. Nice job, everybody. Draw your right knee to your chest and straighten your left leg. And just find that nice stretch. Shake it out. Maybe slide that leg side to side and breathe. Good, the next time the knee is out to the side, I want you to pause. Bend your left knee, take your right ankle to your left knee, come into a figure four. Bring the knees toward your chest, a little bit of a flex in both feet. Your right knee presses away from you as your right ankle comes a little bit closer to the left shoulder, right? So it's this kind of movement toward. If this hurts your knee, just take some of that compression out. I have one student that takes her back of her ankle to her shin so she doesn't have the knee compression. It's a nice alternative there. Or keep your feet on the floor or cross the knees completely. There's tons of ways to just get that sweet stretch in the hip. Those of you who would like, hold on to your right leg. So I hold on to the foot, hold on to the knee, straighten your left leg toward the floor. I keep it hovered a couple of inches. Big deep breath. Bend the left knee, bring it back to your foot. Lower both. Release, straighten the right leg up to the ceiling and lower to the floor to stretch all that out. Both knees bend, both feet on the floor. Bring your left knee to your chest. Oh yeah, just feel that. You can straighten the right leg if you like, and then just rock the left knee out to the side and across, just out and across. Yeah, just stretching all that out, all that workout. Deep breath, everybody. Good, and then leave that knee out to the side, bend your right knee again, put that foot on the floor, take your ankle to your knee. Bring the knees toward your chest. Remember the knee, the left knee presses away from you as the left ankle heads toward you. To your level, right? To your level here. Breathe. And just feel that sweet little stretch of the hip. You can move the legs around, right? So as a yogi, you want to inquire, right? I'm always inquiring what happens if my leg goes this way? What happens if it goes this way? Good, so either stay here or grab foot and knee, straighten the right leg, let it hover a couple of inches off the floor. Big stretch here. That's it. Bend the knee, bring it back to your ankle. Lower both feet down. Release the pose. In fact, straighten the left leg just to shake out any hip congestion there. And bend both knees. Good. Last one here. You're going to shift just your hips to the right. Bring your knees to your chest. Lower your knees to the left. So you're coming into a twist. You can, if you want, a block between the knees can be really sweet. Or if your knees are hovering, definitely a block under your knees. Okay, so don't let the knees hover in space. And then open up both shoulders. Maybe the arms come back to cactus pose. Little twist here, just releasing any leftover little kinkiness in the back. Find your breath. Nice long back of the neck. Your head can be neutral or it can turn toward the left, whatever feels okay to you. If your head is turned to the left, bring it back to neutral. Take the legs back to center, the feet to the floor. Your hips come back to middle, and then they shift over to the other edge of your mat. Bring the knees in. Good. And lower your knees to the right. Again, cactus pose, make the arms or the backs of the shoulders really wide. Maybe the head turns, maybe not. We feel this twist, we use the block as we need to. Deep breath, everybody. And as you exhale, feel your belly and your body settle, settle, settle down. And maybe for a moment, we just think everything is okay. Life is good, right? We are living our lives the best we can. We are spreading joy the best we can. That's it. And release that pose. Bring the knees back to the middle. Feet to the floor, hips to the middle, both knees to chest. Squeeze it in, squeeze it. And then one leg reaches out to the corner of your mat, the other leg reaches out to the corner of your mat. We shake and shimmy out those hips and then squeeze everything into the middle. Squeeze your legs, squeeze your butt, squeeze your shoulders, squeeze your face, and let it all go. And find Shavasana. And in Shavasana, we do truly let go of whatever is not necessary for this pose, whether it is a tense muscle or a tense thought or a tense breath. We let that go. And we give ourselves permission to be here right now for the next few minutes, allowing the breath to flow in and flow out. Soften down, everyone. Allow the breath to carry you deeper into your Shavasana. Soften even more.
If you are in Shavasana, you want to stay a whole bunch longer, go ahead and stay. If you are ready, just start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Feel the breath deepen. Feel yourself waking up a little bit. And as you're ready, start to draw the knees toward your chest and give yourself a huge hug. Big, big, big hug. Love yourself. Appreciate your efforts. Rock the knees side to side. Let the knees roll to one side or the other. Curl all the way over to fetal pose. And then very slowly press up to your seated pose. And bring your hands to your heart and smile. And have an awesome day, everybody. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody.